for this about a month and a half, 2 months ago. My name is Fremin. I'm the Internship Director for the College of Criminal Justice, and I'm also a lecturer of victim studies, so I teach a victimology class here. This is my administrative assistant, Miss Melissa Hicks, and I'm going to let her talk about some of the processes that we have. We're going to go through an overview of our internship program, which we highly, highly recommend to everyone to take during their time here. And it's been a tremendous success that we've seen for our graduating seniors that go off into an internship, and they have a very high percentage of getting a job placement after they finish their internship. So let me just see a show of hands. How many, do we have any freshmen in here? Right there? Okay, welcome. This your first semester? What do y'all think of Sam? Second semester? Oh, okay, we got a little seniority, right? Okay, what do you think? Y'all excited? Okay. How many sophomores? Juniors? Okay, okay. And graduating seniors? Not yet. Okay, y'all will be there, trust me. I tell my students this all the time when they're in the first week of class. I said it's going to go by fast. Did it? It goes by fast. You guys are going to be seniors before you know it. So just a little bit about me. I've been here at SAM. I'm going into my 6th year now at SAM. I retired from the Houston Police Department as a police captain. I had 34 years of service. And then when I retired, I came here and I was an adjunct professor for a couple of years. And I was teaching about 4 classes a semester. It was a lot. And at the end of the day, I was offered a full-time faculty position here to be the internship director. So I'm going into my 2nd year of doing that. And I really feel honored, class, doing that. So I get to help the next generation, which is y'all, go to that next level, right? I'm also in my 2nd year of the doctoral program here at SAM, so it's been a challenge. Hold on. So I feel very blessed and honored to be here to help y'all get to that next level, because one day y'all are going to be doing the same thing that I'm doing by helping the next generation. So be very fortunate that you're sitting in the seat that you're sitting in right now. You're not across the street sitting in a cell. And I say this to all the students. You'll have made some very good decisions being here. You got your whole future in front of you. You really do. This is one of the top-tiered criminal justice colleges in the United States. And I think this semester or last, we just got designated as a Hispanic serving institution, which is a big deal in the world of academia. So when the Department of Education comes in and they say that at least 25% of your student population is Hispanic or Latino or Latina, the U.S. Department of Education bestows upon that university many additional federal appropriations, monies, scholarships, grants. So it's a big thing for the university, for y'all. How many first-gen students do we have in here? It's great. What a huge accomplishment that is. And I know I got 2 of my former students right here, so huge accomplishment. The internship program, and I'm going to turn it over to Mel in a little bit. It's going to give you a wealth of experience going into your next career. Some of y'all, does everyone in here really know what you want to do for your career? Some of y'all do, but some of y'all probably have a question mark. Like, I really don't know exactly what I want to do. I have an idea. I want to be an FBI profiler. I want to be like Penelope on Criminal Minds. That doesn't exist. But our internship program here, we have an incredible array of agencies, both state, local, federal agencies that we interact with, okay? You have to be a graduating senior to actually qualify to get into the internship program. The little flyers that we gave y'all will show that. You have to have 90 hours. You can start applying. You can come see me now. We're going to get to that in a little bit. You can be a freshman, schedule an appointment with me, and I'll explain to that how we do that. But to actually go into the internship, we'd like to put our seniors there that very last semester before they graduate, right? DPS, game wardens, U.S. Marshals, CIA, DEA, ATF, victim services, anything that is quasi-criminal justice related, adult probation, parole, you can do your internship here. The requirements are that you have to work 40 hours a week. It's a full-time job. Most of our internships are non-paid. Some of them are paid, and it's worth 9 credits. So the game plan is that once you meet with me, and we'll kind of go through the process here in a little bit, we start talking about your career plan, and it's not just a one-on-one meeting, class. I'm gonna be here to help you throughout this whole process. I'm gonna help you decide what your career path is. We're gonna separate fact from fiction about what these agencies really do in life and help you kind of get that path on how you're going to do it. And then we decide, okay, what's a good placement for you? And then we have a procedure that's in place where we work with these agencies. There's some paperwork that's involved, and we'll explain all that in a little bit. And then at the end of the day, you start that last semester. This is your full-time job. You don't come back to SAM. You can take up to 12 hours that semester. The internship's worth 9 hours, and let's just say you need 12 hours to graduate that semester, you can take an online class. But you are getting real world life experience in that internship. This semester, I think, how many interns do we have now? We have 33 interns. We're a little below. We have 6 that are interning with Houston PD, 6 with DPS. And I'm going to profile Jasmine Martinez. She's working for HPD Homicide Division right now. Her life dream was to become a homicide detective with HPD. So we were able to put her in Homicide Division. She's working with the cold case squad as we speak and going out on these murder scenes, which is the first that we've ever had an intern do, but it's going to be opening up the doors for a lot of people, and they're all applying for the agency. So you do this internship the whole semester, you get real world life experience. Your employer is your potential employer is seeing you. You're rubbing shoulders, you're shaking hands, you're getting to work on time, you're looking professional. Some of y'all already have jobs, but some of you've never worked in a job. So this is going to kind of prep you. And this internship's going to do one or two things. It's going to let you know this is what I want to do for the rest of my life in a career, or this is not what I want to do. I have students that want to be CSI investigators, tons of them, criminal, crime scene investigators. We're going to see death every day. Are you ready for it? And I tell them that. You see it on TV, but TV does it in injustice. Jasmine made a homicide scene. She was telling me the other day that she'd never seen a dead body before. And the guy had been in the apartment for about a month and a half, so his body was decomposing pretty bad. She'd never smelled anything like that in her life. But that's what you're going to see. And this is what you signed up for, right? So the internship is a great opportunity, and we hope at the end of the day, when you're walking across the stage, when you finish that semester, that you have a conditional job offer from these employers. And what we see happening is we have a tremendous amount of success rates with students that are getting hired. And we have a lot of success stories, but that's our plan. And it keeps your opportunities open. You might be in an internship. We have a student right now that's Rebecca Broyles that's interning with the Office of Emergency Management with the City of Houston. So she's down there every day, literally sitting in a command center. If we have a natural disaster, a terrorist attack, or any type of major event, the Final Four, the Super Bowl, parades in the city of Houston, she works in the office with all of these major players of all this infrastructure security. But she's interacting, class, with a lot of other agencies. So it's going to expose you to a lot of different things. We have students, and I think, Max, you're interested in going to the security side of, we've been placing students with internships with a lot of the oil and gas, petrochemical, infrastructure security systems. And some of them have been hired making big money. It's a big deal. So I'm going to explain all this in a little bit more detail, but I wanted Melissa to kind of explain to you the paperwork that's involved. And it's not much, but there's a process that's in place here that you would have to do to officially get on board, get your file created and everything, and Mel will kind of explain all this to you. And let me just brag on her for a little bit. She has done a tremendous job for me. We took this office over 2 years ago, and this office has been in existence for close to 50 years. I'm the third person that's held this office in 50 years, so it's a lot of work. We see tons of students. The College of Criminal Justice is the largest college of the 8 colleges here at SAM. I think last year alone, I did the math on it, I spoke to about 1,000 students. I literally interacted, met, had interviews, presentations with about 1,000 students, okay? So without further ado, let Mel talk to you all for a little bit about this.
Hi, guys. My info is not nearly as fun and interesting, but it's important. To start the process, you need to meet with your academic advisor. That's step one. They're going to do what's called a pre-application. That's going to come to me, and then you're going to get an email from me that says, hey, we're glad you're interested in our program. Please fill out the next steps. And I'm going to give you our web address, and you're going to go complete an online application. It takes less than 3 minutes. It's really easy. It's short. It's basic information about you and our program. It's going to give you the opportunity to also upload your resume and your driver's license. Both of those articles of paperwork are required. So if you have trouble uploading them there, then you just shoot me an email and say, I've done my application, here's my resume, here's my driver's license. The next step is for you to order your official transcript from the registrar's office. It has to be an official transcript. I cannot take the one from DegreeWorks. The reason is that the other agencies that we work with require it. And once we get all of that paperwork, you get an email from me that says, okay, it's time to go into Campus Connect and make an appointment with Professor Fremin. It's real easy. I think we've got it set up where a little easier than any people before us, just because of the online aspect. Used to, you'd have to come in and fill out about 20 sheets of paper, and it took forever. So take the 5 minutes it takes. We are excited that you're interested. And if you have any questions, I am in the C Wing in C118. I'm also at my desk most all of the day. I don't usually take a lunch. So I'm there. Come by, see me if you've got questions, or give me a call or shoot me an email. I'm there for you guys.
Okay, guys. So once you fill out the application, you know, we ask that you we're filling out applications right now. What are we in, the spring of 2023? We're starting applications literally for spring of 2024. We're already placing and getting students prepared for an internship for the spring of 2024. So here's how the process works. You fill out the application. It's going to tell you to come set up an appointment through Campus Connect to come see me. And it'll show you my available time slots that are up there. My name is not up there. It'll just say COCJ Internship. Oh, it is there now. Okay. So you set up an appointment. I see students Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 2 to 4. So it'll give you a 30-minute time block, right? So we sit down during that 30-minute time period, and we just start talking about what's your plan. Tell me about yourself, what's your plan, what are your goals in life. I do have students, class, from time to time that they don't know what they want to do. Or some of them may not have a social support system at home. Or the first-gen students that are there, their mom and dads don't really know much about the college procedure because they weren't college graduates, so they don't really have anyone else to fall back on. I've become that person, and I take honor in doing that. So I wear several different hats, not only as professor, but guide, mentor, advisor, teacher. So, and I'm here to help you. So we start sorting out what the plan is. It might take 2 or 3 meetings. It may. And we kind of narrow it down. Let's look at your time frame. When are you graduating? And I'm going to start asking you, what's pulling at your heart? What do you want to do in life? Most of y'all are in here because you want to make a difference. You want to help people. You want to be a part of something bigger than yourselves, and you want to contribute back to society. You want to make a difference. That's why I wore the uniform as long as I did, right? Some of y'all don't want to go into law enforcement. I get it. Some of y'all have other career paths. Some of y'all might want to go federal. Some of y'all might want to be in victim services or help work in a domestic violence shelter. Or substance abuse. I mean, we do all these things. We have been able to network, and that's one of the great things that I've been blessed with in my career. I've made a lot of connections in my life. So we have been able to expand our internship program into many different areas. You can do the internship here. You can do it out of state. You can do it in another part of the city. My connections, for the most part, are like pretty much in the state of Texas and really around this area. But if, let's say, you want to do it in Washington State, I'm going to put the work on you. And I'm going to say, go out there, do your homework, make some phone calls to the medical examiner's office in Dallas County or wherever you want to do it at. Let them know who you are. And once you establish that connection, then you shoot them to me. As long as they can provide you a very good environment, because that's something we want to make sure that you're not just sitting there answering the phones, filing papers all semester. That's not going to happen. We want you getting real-world life experience. Okay, we have a great relationship with just about every agency that you can think of federal law enforcement counseling in this greater Huntsville, Walker County, Montgomery County, Harris County, Chambers County, Brazoria County, Fort Bend County. So it's a huge area. And once we sit down there, we have this meeting, we start negotiating everything and looking at what's a good fit for you. Then we come to the final, okay, what's your decision going to be? Because I do have students that will vacillate into the last minute and they don't make a decision. So that's where I come in and I'm going to push you into that decision. Okay, because we got to say which career path are we going down? We got to make a decision. And then once we make that decision, then we're coming up to your last semester in college. You're almost there. Then we start pushing your application to that agency. They normally have a vetting process where they're going to, especially if you're going to law enforcement or some type of, do we have any future attorneys in here? Potentially? I have future law school students. We put them at the DA's office with Montgomery County, Harris County, Walker County, and they literally shadow prosecutors into court. You know, this is actually a criminal courtroom. There have been actually trials here in this courtroom right here. A death penalty case was held here many years ago. But they get to shadow these prosecutors, so that's what you would be doing. And so when your respective agency, we're going to put you there that whole semester, and you're going to be doing what your potential career plan is going to be. If you want to be a Houston police officer, a DPS trooper, you're going to ride with a trooper for 15 weeks. You're going to be doing different things. They're not going to have you riding there the whole time. They've got a pretty good system in place. But that's what we're going to make sure the agency, especially if it's a newer agency, that they can provide you with a good environment and they're giving you real world life experiences, okay? Any potential DPS troopers in here? Okay, yeah, right. So they're riding with troopers, they're getting moved around, they're doing rotational assignments, they're doing crash investigations, fatalities, they're checking by with other smaller agencies. They're understanding what the format is. There's a lot of different aspects that DPS troopers have to do. We have 6 with DPS. And one of my former students, Cassandra Bacranegra. Does anybody know Cassandra? Where's she at? She's in the Valley. She's living her dream right now, man. No, she's on social media blowing it up. What's that? Yeah. So she wants to be a DPS trooper. So we made it happen. And we were able to put her down in the Valley. We were able to work that out. She got approved. It's a very lengthy process. You know, there's an application to fill out, but she graduates in May. She's got her application in with DPS. So she's living her dream right now. So that's going to be on. Okay, so it is a process that's in place. Once you finish this, you're going to get a grade. It's worth 9 credits. You're all going to make A's, trust me. There are certain things that you have to do. We send out a little midterm evaluation to your supervisors. They'll fill it out. And at the end of the semester, you write a little reflection paper, right? You'll have to register for 3 classes. These are the internship classes. But that's going to be your full-time job that semester. So literally, you won't be coming back to SAM. That's going to be your full-time job. We do internships in the summer as well. So the summer semester is 10 weeks. Fall semesters and spring semesters are 15 weeks. Your internship schedule will follow SAM's schedule. So if we're off on spring break, like we are for this coming week, you don't report to your internship that week. And you have a supervisor you report to, and most of them, all of them, they're going to treat you like one of their own employees, class. And our goal is to give you this real world life experience. So when you graduate, you'll figure out, this is what I want to do, okay? And we've had a ton of success stories on this. We really, really have. And I'll share one with you just real briefly. She was in graduate school about last semester, Emily Brazee. She was in graduate school. She had a little bit of military service. I think she was a Coast Guard. I'm going to make a long story short. I got a call, and it was all through networking, that there was this major oil company downtown called Cheniere. Kind of like Anadarko or Texaco, but it's a major national oil and gas production company. Well, Emily had already come to talk to me because she's really interested in the security studies side, because she's a Homeland Security's master's student. She could have been undergraduate, but she was a graduate student. And she's really good with computers and cyber security. That's her forte. Well, Cheniere was looking for someone to intern that semester. And I thought, you know, she'd be the perfect person for it. And she was. So we were able to negotiate a first-time internship with Cheniere. Emily was their person, and she was killing it, man. And I went down there and visited her, which I do. I'm going to come by your site and visit you at some point in time. So midway towards the end of her internship, she calls me. She was very emotional on the phone. I thought something had happened. Guess what happened? She got a job. They offered her a full-time position. Now, I'm not going to be telling all of her business, but it's out there publicly. You know what they started her off at, class? Take a guess. Come on, take a guess. What do you think? Stock options and everything included, it's about $91,000 a year. First time, right out of graduate school. Well, she wasn't out of graduate school. She was still in grad school, but this is one of our greatest success stories. So, and then she referred someone else because they were looking for someone else to come and take her place once she started. They wanted another intern. This is what we're talking about. Now, can I promise you we're going to get you $90K after you graduate? I don't know. But my point being is when you do this internship, it's going to open up a lot of doors for you. It's going to give you connections and experience. So take advantage of our system that we have here. It's really a great opportunity for everyone in here to utilize this. And I promise you it's going to help you along the road, because before you know it, I'm telling you, y'all are going to be gone from SAM. And you'll have anxiety going up into your senior year because you're going to be graduating. You've been here at SAM this whole time, and it's like you know where to go to the cafeteria, you know where your classes are at, but now you're getting ready to leave. You got to go out into the world and what? Start making your own money, right, Rayanne? Pay your own car insurance and all this other stuff. So, and here's what I'm going to tell y'all too. Y'all have made some very good decisions to get in the seat that y'all are in right now. Keep making them, because I promise you, you're going to have challenges that come forward to you. Now, I say this to you not in a negative perspective, and I'm putting on my dad's cap and my police captain's cap. Be careful about what you do right now going forward. You don't need to pick up any type of BS, because it can be a disqualifier for you. You pick up a dope case, possession case, DWI, assault, anything like that, class, that can be a disqualifier for you for your agency. And that's happened.
We've had disqualifications for backgrounds coming back and students just dabbling in drugs. And HPD said disqualified for at least 5 years.
Depending on what the narcotics usage was, right? So make good decisions. Be careful about who you run with and who you hang out with. I tell that to all my students. The narcotics usage is a big thing for the federal agencies as well. You know, and here's what I'm going to tell you. They understand that people will probably experiment from time to time with certain things. Local agencies do too. And those aren't career killers. I can't go into specifics because they don't really tell me these are the hardcore. But if you're mainlining black tar heroin and shooting up meth and crystal meth every day, and you admit to that, no, that's going to be a disqualifier. I experimented with marijuana when I was a senior in high school. Maybe not. Some federal agencies, that might be a disqualifier. I don't know. But just make good decisions is what I'm saying to you all right now. Because I promise you, going forward, you're going to have some challenges. You're going to have minefields in front of you, and you just got to be careful about where you step. It's such a young age, because everything that you do right now will affect you for the rest of your life, and it will. Boy, don't I know that. It will. So just make good decisions, okay? I think I about covered just about everything. Anything else you can think of? Okay, so my office is literally right down the hall in C218. So we're going to open it up for questions if anyone has any. This is now your opportunity. If you have any questions or concerns, we're free to answer these for you. And I encourage, before we go into the question, I encourage, if you haven't seen me yet, for an appointment, schedule an appointment, come see me. And we can have more of a one-on-one 30-minute interview to really kind of delve into what your true aspirations are. And even if you're a freshman, do it early, right? I literally have had some students that wait to the last minute. I'm not going to say who, but don't be that person that goes into your senior year. I can still help you. But if I had this conversation with you a year ago, then I could have done more. See what I'm saying? I'm not talking to anybody particular in the class. I don't know why folks are mean mugging me right now. So, okay, so we're going to open it up for questions right now, okay? And don't be hesitant. Anybody? Come on, y'all are easy. No questions? Max, you got anything? You said everything? Yes, that's a good question. So you have to have at least 90 college hours to physically start the internship. But we encourage you as a junior, you can start the application process before you have 90 hours. So let's just say like right now, we have juniors right now that are going to be graduating in the spring and fall of 2024, right? Some of them are even sophomores, but because of a early college, advanced credits, dual placement, they're only going to be here for a little bit longer and they're graduating. So they can be sophomores, but they're graduating at the end of next year. So you can start filling out your application process now. We create a file for you, and we're in the fall of 2024 right now, placing applicants. Yeah. And here's the thing, class. You're representing Sam Houston State when you do these internships. You're representing us, and so when you do this internship, it's really a privilege to do this thing. It's a big deal. And Sam comes with a huge clout in the professional arena. And especially for my first-gen students that are here, it's a big deal. You're very marketable when I tell you this. Especially my bilingual speakers that are here. It's a big deal to be a graduate from Sam Houston State and be a first-gen student. It really is in the job market because you are they're looking for people like you. And everyone else, but you are very, very marketable because they want to promote you within their agency. Diversity is a huge thing now, and it should be. So the Houston Police Department, it's the biggest agency in the state. It's the fourth largest in the United States. It was my life for 34 years. We are now the most diverse big city police department in the United States. 52% of our officers are Hispanic, Black, Asian, female, or other. 52%. Wasn't like that when I joined. So it goes through a very aggressive recruiting campaign, like the recruiter that you see outside right now. I think they have like a $10,000 signing bonus. I'm just going to throw that pitch out there for them. So it's a big deal for those of y'all that may be interested. So any other questions? Don't hesitate. Yes, ma'am. Here. So they can hear it.
Okay. If I have over 90 hours after this semester, is it too late?
When do you graduate?
If I take summer classes, I can graduate fall, but I might wait till spring.
Yeah.
Okay.
And listen, and I don't want to throw a curveball to anybody in here, but how many of y'all want to go straight into graduate school when you graduate? Okay, don't do that. This is just my humble opinion, and here's what I'm going to tell you. You'll get your master's degree is a big thing. It's a huge thing. It's going to open up some doors. But it's not the telltale final requirement that you need for a lot of these agencies. I have students that will come in, and I'm just going to give them my humble recommendation. Your goal and job right now is to graduate and get into the job market ASAP. When you go to graduate school, straight after for undergraduate, you're there for 2 years, 24 to 27 months. You're out of the job market. Those 24 to 27 months, you could be in your job, gaining valuable experience, seniority, pay, benefits, experience. Most of these companies will pay for you to go to grad school. So I tell my students, get into the job market, get your feet on the ground, get wet, start your career, start your life, and then once you get established, then go back to grad school. And you can do it. But whatever you decide to do, I'll support you. I'm just telling you the reality thing. And if you're in grad school for those 2 years, what's to say that job market's going to be that when you get out? And you might have missed an opportunity. We've had this happen a couple of times where we've had a few students that were in an internship, and we want to put you there that last semester. And here's why. Because when you graduate, if they give you a job offer, you're ready to go. I've had some students that, no, they want to do it like 2 semesters earlier because it just fits out with their timing. I'm not going to tell you not to do that, but our recommendation is to do it the last semester. And here's why. They do it, let's say, 2 semesters before they graduate, and they're interning, and they're killing it, man. And then guess what happens? They get offered a job. And they can't, and they tell them, well, I got to go back to school. You know what I told them? Drop out of school. Take the job, start your career, and go back and finish these. And they did. But I told them that ahead of time going in. If you get a job offer, what are you going to do? Well, I don't know. So that's why we kind of tell you to wait the last semester. So because your job, this whole plan thing that you're doing is not for the hell of it. There's a reason behind what you're doing because you want to get your career started. You want to get that little piece of paper that says that you graduated. And it's going to open up tremendous doors for you. So you want to get into the job market and start early. Okay? A good question. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Why don't you give her a mic right here? And tell me what your name is. Stand up. And I should tell us who you are. I know I'm going to make you stand up.
My name is Cecile, and I was wondering if there was any internships for Border Patrol.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a great relationship with U.S. Border Patrol right now. And let me just say this. Where are my future DPS troopers at? Guess where you're going to be going? You'll be doing a rotation on the border. And that's what's happening right now with DPS. I've got a lot of friends that are working. Is it Cecilia? Cecile, that are working on the border right now. And it's a human catastrophe. It really is. And it's shameful what's happening. But DPS is deploying troopers down there, and they're spending like on a rotational basis for like the last year and a half. And they're miserable. They're having to be set up in tents. The criminal activity that they see happening that's coming over the border right now with this mass migration, fentanyl, coyotes, human trafficking, human smuggling, the children that are being sexually assaulted and abused, it's very sickening what's happening. The U.S. Border Patrol is overwhelmed right now. That's why DPS is having to go down there. And I hear this firsthand. So, but we have a wonderful relationship with them, and it's a great opportunity. I think that they were at our career fair. But we have a career fair that's here. We just had one. We'll have another one in the spring, okay? So it's a great opportunity. And but for those of y'all that want to go into law enforcement, I mean, look, I salute you, because not a lot of people can do that. It takes a very, very special person to put on a uniform and go out there and put themselves in harm's way and defend the freedoms of what we thrive for in this country. So God bless you. Anybody else? And don't hesitate. We're okay on time. Okay. Yeah. I know, right? Stand up and introduce yourself. Yep.
You know who
I know, but they don't.
Well, I'm Ryan. Hey,
And she
guys.
just got engaged. She showed me a ring,
Yeah, I'm engaged.
right?
Um,
Rayanne was my former student, y'all, and
yeah,
I'm very
it's
glad
been a long
she's here.
day. I'm interning at HPD. How do I know which division?
When do you start, Rayanne?
A fall.
Okay, so
Because I'm taking summer classes.
good question. So when for HPD, right, we have 45 different police divisions. So, but we don't put interns in every division. So Crystal Davis, who is our point of contact, once we get all of the applicants that are in the fall, vetted, approved, she's going to call you and let you know this is what I have available, right?
Oh, so we get to choose.
I'm sorry?
We get to choose.
Yeah, she's going to say, this is what I have available, right? And because it kind of changes up each semester a little bit here and there. And then you'll get to pick and choose what you want to do. So where you want to go?
I kind of like the homicide.
Okay. And if there's availability. So right now we have interns in homicide division, major offenders, peer support, the Children's Assessment Center, which our juvenile division has their juvenile sex crimes and child sexual abuse unit that's there. It's off-site. It's like off Richmond and 59, no, Kirby and 59. And we have like 3 students that are there. So it's very interesting. They're following around these juvenile detectives.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
too.
when kids are sexually abused or they're victims of crime, that's where they go to give their statements, follow-up investigations, the videotaped interviews, suspects are brought in. It's very sobering, though, Rand, but somebody has to do it. It takes a very special person to do that. It really, really does. So the 3 interns that we have that are interning there at the Children's Assessment Center all have aspirations of becoming Houston police officers. So they're actually doing the application right now. But they're getting incredible experience. And I talked to them, and it's like they just never knew that this existed, that there were true monsters that exist in our society that could do stuff like this to these kids. But they exist, class. They do. Yeah. But that's how they do it, okay?
Should I start the Houston application soon?
You're graduating in December?
Yeah, December.
So it's not open yet.
Okay.
All applications, I don't think have open yet. We have not gotten an email from Crystal that says applications are
Yeah.
open.
They have a certain timeline, right?
We'll go through all of our files to see who are interested HPD applicants are, and you'll get an email from me that says application period is open, go to this website.
Okay.
And they have their own process for vetting you.
Yeah, because I'm finished with all the other stuff.
And so for all of y'all, whatever agency y'all decide to go to, they're going to have their own independent background check. Some of them are very extensive. For those of y'all going into law enforcement, like HPD, DPS, if you go federal, it could take 3 or 4 or 5 months. Especially those of y'all that are interested in going federal, it's a very lengthy process. We have a good relationship with the FBI, with the DEA, with ATF, with U.S. Marshals, with the DIA, which is the Defense Intelligence Agency. We had a great relationship with the CIA, but they kind of went ghost on me. That's a whole nother story. We're trying to bring them back, and that's the CIA, though, right? But we have a wonderful relationship. But depending on where you go, what you do, the background checks are pretty extensive. Y'all will be fingerprinted. They're going to do criminal history checks on you. If you have an arrest in your background, I'm not saying that that's a disqualifier. It just depends on what it is, if that makes sense. So, but going forward, no tickets. I had a student that called me the other day in tears because she got pulled over for speeding. She's doing an internship right now, and it's like I said, and I had to call their placement agency because she's in the pipeline to join a police department. She'll be okay. She's going to take deferred adjudication on the speeding ticket, but slow down. I mean, I was driving into Sam this morning, coming down the road, and this student, I know it was a student because it was a young kid, passes me in the turn lane on a small little street. And it's like, why do you think, man? Anyway, just be careful. You don't need anything happening on your record right now. Nothing. Okay? You good?
I have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so to get into the police academy, you have the physical test. Do you have to do any of that for internships? Yeah, because I can't do a push-up yet.
No,
Yeah.
no, you don't. But listen, but it's a good question, Rand, because here's what I'm going to tell all of y'all right now. For those of y'all that are getting ready to go into these professions, and you know, and I'm not going to set you up for failure. If you're sitting in my office and you are obesely overweight and you're out of shape and you want to join the PD or DPS, we're going to have a hard conversation because I'm not going to send you there until you know what to expect. And this is the physical requirements are a big deal if you're going down that road. And I tell this to all the students because we're not going to send you there and you get washed out in the application process and damn, your plan has just been dissolved. So I say this to everyone. If you know the agency that you're kind of starting to think about, go on their websites and look at them. Look at what their physical fitness requirements are. Look at what their overall recruiting requirements are. You're going to have background checks. You're going to have a polygraph. You'll have personal interviews. You're going to have a physical. You'll have a psychological exam. There's a lot of stuff you're going to have to do. And I tell this to everyone, especially for those of y'all going into federal or law enforcement. Just getting in is the hardest thing. Just getting in is the hardest thing. When I retired, I was over our police academy. I was a captain over cadet training. We would run 5 classes a year. And each class would have about 70 cadets. Do you know how many applicants we'd have to go through to get those 70 approved cadets? Just take a guess. How many applicants you think we went through? 500. Just take a guess. That's good. It was about 700. 700 applicants to get 70 approved. A lot of things wash kids out. It does. So, but the physical fitness requirement is a big thing, Rand. So I'm just saying this to everyone here. Just know what to expect. If you know you're going to have to start getting back in shape, do it. Know what the mile and a half, what their requirements are, because a lot of these agencies are going to require you some type, and as it should be, class, because if you're going to be putting the uniform on and you're my partner and we're going out on the street, we got to put hands on people and chase bad guys through the woods late at night with our canine running and a helic, then you got to be in shape because my life may depend on it.
HPD's changed their
did.
requirements. Yeah,
They have.
it's a mile, and instead of the sprint, it's a 500-meter row. That's under like 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
And let me just say this, as
15
being
push-ups.
over their academy, you can do this, trust me. We've had cadets that come in that wash out in the first couple of weeks and they get sent home. They get removed because they weren't ready physically. So take care of your bodies physically because y'all are way too young in life. Because as you get older in life, and I'm just going to preach to you, as you get older in life, if you don't take care of yourself, class, trust me, your check, the engine light will come on. It will. So just take care of yourself because y'all are too young in life to start having health issues. Because as you do get older in life, these things will start happening, right? I'm just saying. Well, then start. Start. Work on it. Work on your strength training for those of y'all. I'm just saying. And I don't know if HPD requires push-ups. Do they? Well, then you start off with one, Rayanne. Have your fiance help you. Okay, we have a question back here. Go ahead, ma'am. Stand up. Tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Ayana, and I was wondering if there's like an age requirement for any of the internships.
Good question. So most of our agencies, as long as you're a student in good standing, they will let you come on board at 18. I think that's kind of the demarcation line. 18, 19. Well, to be hired. We've had 19-year-olds that have interned with HPD. We've had 18-year-olds. So it all depends on the agency. But to be hired by the agency, most placement agencies are going to want you to be 21.
Okay.
So like with the police departments, and I'll use HPD as an example. A lot of the police academies and the federal agencies are the same way. As long as you turn 21 before you graduate from their respective academy, you're good to go. Because I know a lot of young men and women that with advanced placement, early college credits,
Yeah, that's
I've got
me.
students that are here that are 18 or 19, they're graduating like in a year. So just it varies between different agencies. And your name is Oriana?
Ayana.
Ayana. Okay, so what do you want to do?
I'm interested in forensic psychology.
Good. So a lot of school.
Yeah.
So you want to be a doctor, a PhD, and you want to interview these
Yes.
serial killers and find out why they do what they do. It's interesting, yeah. So we have a great relationship with the Bureau, the FBI, because a lot of the forensic psychologists and pathologists work there. For how many people want to go into CSI here? Let me just see. Anybody here? We have a wonderful relationship with the Houston Forensic Science Center and the Harris County Institute of Forensic Science, which is the morgue, medical examiner's office. But for those of y'all that see on TV when there was a shooting or a cutting and you see the police investigating it, there was a time way back in the day that police officers collected all that evidence. Chain of custody, testified in court. Well, now we have a civilian entity called the Houston Forensic Science Center, and they service HPD and like 27 other different agencies. And so when we have something that has an evidentiary portion and law enforcement's on the scene, they're the ones that roll up. Now, they have many other jobs that they do. They have ballistics and, DNA, buccal. I mean, just everything you can think about that they do from a forensic standpoint. But they're the ones that send the crime scene investigators out. So we have a good relationship with them. We have an internship program with them as well. It's very competitive. But great career plan, a lot of school. That's okay, get it. Look, I'm 58. I'm in the doctoral program. Y'all don't think I was 58, did you? Were you going to think I was about 30? Yeah, right. Liar. Liar. Any other questions?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. These are my two students, guys, and I give them a hard time because they gave me a hard time. Yeah, so any other questions? Nothing? That's okay. Go ahead.
Whenever I am on with, when I would like to internship with NPID, NYPD, New York PD. So I'm just wondering if you have any relationship there and if they might possibly accept me there. And
I do have a relationship with NYPD. I've got several dear friends of mine that are retired NYPD. Now, whether or not they would accept you, that is something that I would probably refer you to them, to their website, to make some phone calls, and I could definitely assist you with that to see what their requirements would be to intern with NYPD. and whether or not they even have an internship program, which I would think that they would. One of the biggest agencies in the well, they are the biggest agency in the United States. So, and I think that that would be a wonderful opportunity, especially working in the deaf community. Absolutely. Absolutely. Any other questions? Okay. Well, let me just say this to y'all in closing. The world awaits you. And I mean this to you sincerely, especially for my freshmen there. Where'd y'all go to high school? Okay. What do y'all think of Sam? Are y'all enjoying it here? Okay. Who's our senior? Who's graduating here soon? What would y'all give them as advice? Tell them. What would you tell them? And I have my students do this in class because they got 3 years in front of them. What would you tell them? Everything. Just being here at SAM, how to progress. Take it one semester at a time. Okay. What would you tell them? Yeah. Get involved with a lot of the organizations. There's a lot of organizations here at SAM that will be there, network, make friends, make good decisions. There's a great opportunity for social networking here. Sororities, other organizations, Criminal Justice Honor Society, what's it called? Alpha. Yeah, I should know. I was a part of that a long time ago. So, and class, I'm here to help y'all as well. I say class. There are other campus advisors. There's a lot of people here that are going to support you. Yeah, I mean, that's our job, to help you get to this next level. That's why we're here doing what we're doing. And y'all are the next generation leaders. You really are. And when I say this to you, you really made some good decisions to be in the seat that you're sitting in right now. And you had a lot of people along the way that helped y'all here. I know that, okay? Some of you didn't have a lot, but some of y'all had some people in your lives that will help you, that have helped you. So, and you're going to do the same thing when the opportunity arises for you. So, okay, so y'all each have a little flyer. Do we have it right there? Does everyone have a flyer? Let me see it real quick, Ryan. So real quick, and we'll close out.
See Fremin at Nasty the Fox, just turn your head the other way.
I would always tease them that I was going to go to shenanigans, or I was not the guy that was there. So, okay, so you have Mrs. Hicks' information on here, and my email information is on, my last name is Fremin. I mean, my information's outside. If y'all want to shoot me an email or you want to schedule a meeting, I would advise you, don't hesitate to send me an email, but I would advise y'all to use Campus Connect to schedule an appointment with me. If it's something that's urgent, I don't mind penciling you in and moving some things around on my schedule, but because I have graduating seniors like, I need to really come talk to you, and I can't wait to schedule a meeting with you because it's like you're booked up a month and a half out. And I get booked up early, guys, I do. I have a lot of students that I see. So shoot me an email, and anything I can do to help y'all, I will be here to help you, okay? Okay, without further ado, any other questions? We're good? Thank y'all for coming, and I look forward to seeing all of y'all at some point in time. And good luck to y'all, okay?